You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Saturday the 1st of November 2025. It is 40 days after the fall equinox. It is 50 days before the winter solstice. By the Christian calendar, today is All Saints' Day. It is also the Day of the Dead, when the barrier between the living and the departed grows thin and permeable. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 11th day of Brumaire, the day of the Salsifis, the Salsify. The sun rises today at 7:27 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:39 p.m. The sun sets today at 5:52 p.m., civil twilight ends at 6:20 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 6:52 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 22 seconds, shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 80% full at midday. The full moon will arrive on Wednesday, the 5th of November. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the middle of the night, low tide, 12:44 a.m., 9 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 7:06 a.m., 1 meter 46. In the afternoon, low tide, 1:13 p.m., 18 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 7:28 p.m., 1 meter 46. In our shared realm of plants and animals, as we predicted in August, the nasturtiums are now having their moment. With the passing of the hot days, they have been bursting with energy in their preferred cool days and nights. Plants that were emaciated and thin during the dog days are now cascading out of their containers, huge round leaves turned to the sun. The other annual that continues to thrive is the Mexican marigold. Some marigolds have grown leggy and exhausted, but most of them are blooming in riotous profusion, their tight, many-petaled flowers glorious yellow, orange, and deep red. They will keep at it until first frost. In Mexico, this marigold is known as cempasúchil. Commemorations. In this day in 1755, the Great Lisbon earthquake struck at 9:40 in the morning. The earthquake was followed by fire and a tsunami, and almost entirely destroyed the city. The sudden arbitrary devastation of the great metropolis also sent shock waves through Europe, as theologians and philosophers tried to make sense of the disaster. In that age of enlightenment, it pushed many to further question old verities and the notion of a benevolent deity watching over human affairs. Today we celebrate 3 great institutions created by our government in service of science, human knowledge, and discovery. On this day in 1870, the United States Weather Bureau made its first official meteorological forecast. Now known as the National Weather Service, it has continued that important mission ever since. On this day in 1897, the new Library of Congress building opened. It was the first time the National Library had its own building. Lavishly built, it still stands across the street from the Capitol building, a palace of learning. And on this day in 1963, the Arecibo Observatory opened in Puerto Rico. Owned by the National Science Foundation, it featured the world's largest radio telescope. Built in a natural valley, it was composed of a receiver dish 1,000 feet across, with instruments suspended high above on cables. Over its long service, the telescope studied pulsar stars, mapped the cloud-covered surface of Venus, and tracked and imaged asteroids. Sadly, the structure collapsed on the 1st of December 2020. 2 years later, the NSF announced it would not be rebuilt, a tragic loss to science. Today we remember Edward Said, born this day in 1935. The Palestinian-American academic most famously wrote the book Orientalism, examining how Western notions about the so-called mysterious Orient deeply skew our understanding of the peoples of Asia, both in popular culture and in scholarship. We wish a happy birthday to Nicolasa Moore, born this day in 1938. Born to Puerto Rican parents in New York City, she has been one of the best-known Nuyorican writers. Her work explores the unique lived experience of Puerto Ricans in this city, different from those who live on the island, different from the dominant Anglo culture. Happy birthday, Nicolás Amor. Today is the first day of El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Deeply rooted in the cultures of Mexico, it speaks to many people across North America, with its invitation for the departed to visit the living in celebration. And so we say to those of our listeners who have adorned their ofrendas with cempasúchil flowers and candles, cada flor y cada luz cuenta una historia de amor y recuerdo. Every flower and light tells a story of love and memory. Alternate side of the street parking is suspended in New York City for All Saints' Day. Daylight savings time ends tonight in the wee hours of Sunday. Time to fall back. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 1st of November, 2025.